Good morning. It's Thursday, February 8th. Thanks for joining us for this edition of Up to the Minute. I'm Sade Campbell, HCC Strategic Enrollment and Communications Manager. Pleased to be joined by my co-host today, Dr. Rima Adil, HCC Northwest's Dean of Student Success. Good morning, Rima.
Good morning, Sade. How are you?
I am doing well. I have not been in the studio pre-pandemic. This is my first time back, so definitely a good day to be in the studio and to be joined and kicking off our weekly meeting together.
Well, I see that you're looking nice in the studio.
Well, let's kick things off just in case they get thrown off a little bit about us being back in the studio. You're still able to find us in the same place, so let people know.
All right, so we are live on the Houston Community College District Facebook page and YouTube. And let's not forget, we are also on X, LinkedIn, and on HCCTV at noon, 5 p.m., and 10 p.m., Monday through Friday.
All right. Well, we're going to kick things off. HCC is hosting a mentoring session for students who may still be exploring majors and want to consider health sciences. Joining to talk to us today is Karim Zulfiqar, who's a senior principal for Walter P. Moore and a board member for AMFP. Good morning, Karim.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So happy to have you. Career exploration is something that Dr. Adil does in her job daily. So you all are going to have a great conversation in just a sec. But first, we're going to kick things off with our Thursday Family Fun Day guest. We're discussing the Year of the Dragon and a fun event this weekend. Joining us today is Stephanie Todd-Wong, who's the Vice President of Communications and External Affairs for the Asia Society Texas Center. Welcome back to the show, Stephanie.
Thanks so much for having me.
Really happy to have you on the show. Our student life coordinators are actively doing Lunar New Year events on our campuses. So this is really timely. I know that it's going to kick off in 2 days. And so we're happy to have you to talk about it. This Year of the Dragon, it is the Year of the Dragon for Lunar New Year. And we haven't had a Year of the Dragon since 2012. So I think it's appropriate that let's kick things off with sharing what the Year of the Dragon represents.
Oh, yeah. So the dragon is one of the 12 of the zodiac animals that are celebrated during Lunar New Year. It's determined by your year of birth, right? So everyone who's born in 2024 or 2012, you go back 12 years from that, 2000, are Year of the Dragons. And the dragons, their kind of characteristics are around being noble and courageous and really having like tenacity and power. So if you find those traits in yourself, you might be a Year of the Dragon.
You know, I never really fully identified with a dragon until you described it. Now, were you able to celebrate the last Year of the Dragon in 2012?
That's a good question. I wasn't at Asia Society that long ago, so okay. I must have celebrated maybe a little bit, but I really think in the last few years in particular, the broader community has really become much more aware of this holiday and has really been curious about learning about it. And so it's been really amazing to see at our institution over the last few years in particular, just how much of the community is coming out to celebrate with their families or learn about the holiday and the traditions. So it's one of the beautiful things about Houston, I think, is that our diversity and our willingness to learn about our neighbors shines through. And this definitely happens this time of year.
Yeah, absolutely. And Lunar New Year is definitely a signature, highly anticipated event for Asia Society Texas. What can everyone expect this year?
Oh, goodness. So we have 2 weeks worth of celebrations coming. It kicks off this Saturday, February 10th, with our festival that runs from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. We'll have lion dances and fun family activities where you get to learn about all the different zodiac animals. We have performances with one of our local partners called Washeen Performing Arts Group. So there's all kinds of fun things to do. We are hitting capacity for that event right now. So if you can't join us on Saturday, we will also be at the Galleria with lots of performing and art and craft activities, both Sunday of this weekend and then Saturday and Sunday of the following weekend. And then in addition, on the 16th to the 18th, we are premiering a new chamber opera with our partner, Houston Grand Opera, that tells the story of the Big Swim, which is based on the folktale of the Jade Emperor and the Great Race, which sets the order of the zodiac animals. So there's lots of ways to celebrate with us over the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, definitely. And it sounds like you all have activities for all ages. I do a lot of event planning just in my communications background. So I know it will take a specific effort for you to pull away and maybe enjoy some of the festivities. If you had to think of one, what would you say is the activity you're looking forward to the most?
Oh, goodness. I mean, everyone loves the lion dances. They're fun. They're going to be out on our front lawn. The lions come around. Everyone gives them red envelopes. Kids shy away from them or they're like trying to get inside them. It's just a really fun, active activity for everyone to enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, outside of the activities, food is definitely a highlight of a lot of cultural celebrations. So
Yes.
let the people know where there'll be food and drinks available. And if you have any recommendations for traditional dishes that'll be available at the event.
Oh, yes. So we will have some food vendors on site where you can get some dumplings or maybe some boba tea. So there'll be lots of yummy things to eat here. Dumplings are like a really big traditional dish to have, and I can't get enough of those usually. Fish is another traditional eating or food element during the new year. I mean, I think what's fun about this holiday is it is kind of like a combination of Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's all wrapped up into one. So there's lots of family time and, there's the passing of the red envelopes, which the kids love. So there's something for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely, even though I've only been to a couple of Lunar New Year celebrations, the red envelopes definitely stick out. And I think just culturally, another thing that sticks out that I think is a part of your festivities is the calligraphy.
Oh, yes. So we will have some partners on site doing calligraphy demonstrations, which is just a whole art form in and of itself of how you get the brush stroke, to create the characters just right. So that's also a fascinating activity and art form really to learn about and to explore.
Well, the Asia Society Texas work spans well beyond the Lunar New Year programming. What would you want someone to know who's thinking about visiting your location in Midtown? What can they expect year round from you all?
Oh, yeah. So we offer a wide variety of programming options year round. So whether you're into art, visual art, we have a gallery space with rotating exhibitions. We have live art, music, theater, dance, films, food activities. We have business and policy talks and lectures, and then we have a lot of educational activities as well. So really depending, for every age group, for every interest level, there's always something fun and interesting to do here at our building. We also have our building itself is a work of art. So if you're into architecture, it was designed by a Japanese architect named Yoshio Taniguchi. It's his only freestanding building in the US. It is beautiful and immaculate. So we invite you to come and explore. We do over 125 plus programs a year. So there's always something happening. And we just love to welcome people in and hopefully spark their curiosity and help build additional empathy and, learning about a variety of different Asian cultures.
I mean, I definitely want to lean into sparking curiosity. If this is not something that is a part of your culture, start off with curiosity. I mean, there are a lot of cultural observations that happen through the year, and honestly, our museum scene here in Houston is second to like cities that really pop up in people's mind, like New York. So we have a lot of options here in Houston. And this month, you also have an interactive cultural exhibit highlighting art and culture in Asian countries. Let's wrap out with you sharing some details about that exhibit.
Sure, it's called Explore Asia. It's our new permanent exhibition, so you can see it here year round. It has a lot of interactive components to it. So you can ride a virtual bullet train, you can build a virtual bento box and learn about lots of different Asian foods and where to find them in Houston. You can play drums along kind of like in a Guitar Hero style to different songs from 5 different countries. So it's a really interactive, fun way to learn about a variety of different Asian cultures.
All right, well, we have covered a lot. You mentioned that it's a 2-week celebration
Mhm.
for Lunar New Year, and tickets are selling fast. So people definitely want to get on that. And you also have this interactive exhibit that you just shared. Real quick, how can people learn more information about all of your programming?
Yep, our website's the best way, asiasociety.org/Texas, but you can also find us on Facebook and Instagram, and I want to say Twitter, but it's X. So all the socials, essentially, we're there too.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We've been talking to Stephanie Todd-Wong, Vice President of Communications and External Affairs for the Asia Society Texas. We'll have info posted after the show for all the events we just discussed. Thanks for joining us, Stephanie.
Thanks so much for having me.
All right, I'm going to kick it over to you, Rima.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Sade and Stephanie. Great show, a lot of information. Actually, I was at the Asia Society last week attending one of the Chinese ambassador. And when I got there, it was, the speech was in Mandarin. And I'm like, how is this going to work out? But they all did a very good job. They had the translator, so it all worked out. Had a great time there. So thank you. Next we have, we're moving to Karim Zulfiqar. Karim is a senior principal for Walter P. Moore and a board member for AMFP, which is the Association of Medical Facility Professionals. Welcome to the show, Karim.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. So, I know that AMFP, you all reached out to us to collaborate this session at Houston Community College, which is a mentoring session for students who are still exploring majors. When it comes to health sciences, a lot of the time the students, they just feel that anytime we are with the students, either it is nursing or pre-med, everyone wants to go there. So tell us a little bit about the topic of the program and your goal from this session.
Yeah, thank you. I think that's usually is the reason we focus on the community college as the students are exploring careers. Healthcare is one of the career is pretty much a recession-proof career. Even when we went through a tough time during pandemic, healthcare demands were high. And I know a lot of focus was on the medical professionals that were providing the healthcare, doctors and nurses. But in addition to that, a lot of people were working behind the scene, making those facilities upgraded, adding facilities, making sure that the spaces are ready for these cares to be provided. So there's a whole lot of things goes behind the scene when you walk into a doctor's office or in a hospital. There's a lot of things goes where it's a planning, how you go from a front door all the way to your doctor's office, or you go from there to your patient room or ICU or surgery, how all this works. And then in terms of design, you have to have design that works within the architectural feature that appealing to the patient, appealing to the families. A lot of people come with a lot of stress. Of course, these are the facilities where people come with a lot of medical needs. So we want to make sure that these facilities are relaxing, that calm people down. It's a good experience to be there with whatever they are going through. It is a helpful healing environment. So a lot of people are involved in the planning, they're designing, they're engineering part of it, because you have to make sure that the facilities are protected from flood, hurricane, earthquake. You have proper HVAC systems. During pandemic, we ran into places where we have to isolate places, and we have to do that. So that was really, really important. So a lot of things that goes, and that's the reason we want to educate and amplify that there is more than just doctors and nurses in this field.
That is awesome. I'm glad you said that because, every industry has a certain image. So when health sciences come to mind, only those two categories come to mind, which we understand there are other professionals. So I think it will bring a lot of value to students. Tell us what is specific industries or, professionals will be there on that day.
So part of the panels that we will have, the healthcare and administration side, who are the facilities group, they work to make sure that the facilities are up to date, meet new building codes, new healthcare codes, and also, so we will have the professionals from the facilities group, from Texas Medical Center, from Harris Health System. We will have architects, not only the exterior architectural, but also interior planning. So we will have planners on this panel. We'll have engineering side, both civil structure MEP that mostly design these facilities with input from the facilities group. And then we will have contractors who build these spaces, and designing an office building is different from designing a healthcare facilities because you are building in a place which is 24-hour operational. So if there's a specialty goes into that, so I think that's really important. So we will have these trades. And then, of course, part of the planning is going to be furniture vendors, people who are involved in every single detail of that facility.
That is wonderful. And you know that we also offer most of these courses. We have a COE of construction. We have a huge, big engineering program here. So we are in healthcare, Coleman College of Health Sciences. So we are trying to make sure that we also bring in program coordinator. So if the students have any questions about different industry, then they can get that information. So Karim, tell me, you're on the board of AMFP. What does it stand for? And, what is the reason you all are there? Why are you doing this mentoring event? How does it fit in your mission?
So AMFP is basically started, it's in almost 17, 18 states is already established. Other 5 are establishing, and they're within a state. There are multiple locations, like Texas, we have 4 chapters. So idea is that this is an organization that brings all the healthcare professionals together. So one of the things that we start thinking a couple of years back, we started the ACE program, which is the high school students, to create interest in architectural, engineering, and construction. So the next step was logically to get to the professionals in the community college, where as they are picking choosing their major, to reach out to them and provide the option. This is another options available. So AMFE mission is to expand the healthcare background beyond just the medical healthcare professional. We want to keep bringing new folks, and this is the perfect venue for where students are still working on exploring the career. So we all discuss that, and then we reach out to you, and thanks for hosting us, that this is a place where we can provide the input and answer questions for students who are exploring career in this field.
That is wonderful. I think it's a great community service. I know it is always hard to get professionals to come out and talk to students. A great way of mentoring and making a difference. But sometimes, so real quick, I think we have about a minute or so. But tell us real quick. Sometimes students are shy and they don't know what to ask. Is there a way they can prepare to attend this session? What questions would make good sense?
I think I will advise whoever is attending to focus on the growth potential, career ladder. That's really important. Sometimes students get hung up on the salary ranges, and as we have seen during the pandemic, it can be anywhere. But as they graduate, I think they have to look at where a student start or a professional start at the bottom of that place, whether it's a contractor, architect, or healthcare administrator, and what is the career ladder and where they can reach. The potentials are endless. So I think if that's the mentality coming into that session, they will learn a lot. And we are there to guide. We are not there to ask the question. We are there to provide help. and we'll continue to do that beyond this event. So we will be available, and we'll leave our contact information for students to contact us if they need to reach out to us.
That is wonderful. We are so looking forward to having you all on February 20th. And thank you again for choosing Houston Community College for this activity. We have already done our outreach, a lot of students signing up. So I'm sure if they're watching this show, the word would get out and more students take opportunity at this. But thank you, Karim, again. Karim Zulfiqar is a senior principal for Walter P. Moore and AMFP board member. We will have your info on our post after this show. Again, thank you
very much.
Back to you, Sade.
Yes, always good to be able to highlight our partners here on Up to the Minute. We're going to wrap things out with some events and announcements. First up, our advisors at our Northline campuses are going to be in the field looking to connect directly with you and their students. HCC students will have the opportunities to meet with their advisors and gain information about their college journey, their graduation readiness, and anything else an advisor can help support you with. It'll be happening today from 2 to 4 p.m. at our Northline campus. Check the post after the show for details.
Next, we have Lucasio Clay Fenton vocal and piano selections. This recital features the work by Adam Vincent Clay and Joe Lucasio, as well as HCC vocal professor Francis Fenton, 7:30 p.m. Friday, February 9th, HCC Southwest Fine Arts Center. The registration for this is free and it is not necessary. Everyone is welcome. Check our post after the show for more info.
Well, February is full of observations and commemorations. Of course, it's Black History Month. Lunar New Year is being celebrated, but what's on the hearts and minds of a lot of people is Valentine's Day. And our Office of Student Life and Counseling Services wants to make sure that you are able to celebrate healthy in a healthy way. It'll be hosting Green Flags of Love. If you think about that, that's the opposite of a red flag. So you want to definitely go toward those green flags. It'll be a workshop to recognize the green and the red flags of relationships. Students will also be able to partake in sweet treats and eats. It'll be happening from noon to 1 p.m. on Valentine's Day, Wednesday, February 14th at our Northline campus. Check the post for details after the show.
The next up, we have Auto Technician Mechanics Career Fair. Very important. This job fair is for current and former Transportation Center of Excellence, the students to meet with employers. It is being held at Automotive Technology Training Center, 9 a.m. to noon, Wednesday, February 21st. Check our post after the show for more info.
All right. Well, we have another installation highlighting our faculty's art. Our faculty member, Gisette Padilla, will have her artwork and research that explores various aspects of identity, both individually and culturally, highlighted at our Eastside campus. Some works were initiated during the Printing Museum of Houston Artist in Residency program. The exhibit will be open from now through May 10th. It'll be at our Eastside Felix Morales Wedge Space Art Lab, and there will be an artist reception at 6 p.m. Friday, March 1st. For the exhibit is free. Registration is not necessary and everyone is welcome. Check our post after the show for details.
And last but not least, HCC 16-week spring classes have begun, but the second start classes begin February 12th, which is next week. All courses are either in person, online, or hybrid. Some of the formats are online anytime, no established class meeting time unless listed. Online on a scheduled meeting time is set and course meets online. Hybrid, lecture classes meets partially face-to-face or partially virtually. In-person classes are face-to-face courses with traditional meeting patterns at various campus and location. Hybrid lab, laboratory, and studio courses. To learn more about HCC programs, start dates, and options to cover costs, please visit www.hccs.edu/apply.
All right, well, coming up, we'll welcome Dr. Eric Mikulski, Professor of Voice and Opera at Lamar University, who's preparing to give our HCC students a master class in vocals. And for Film Friday, HCC's own Melvin Mays will join us. He's the chair of our audio recording technology division. Thanks so much for joining us for this edition of Up to the Minute. We'll see you next time.